Awesome. Welcome, you guys. So now the band name Men I Trust, how did that come about?
I'm gonna talk about it because people always relate it to me, which has nothing to do with me. The band started with only Jesse and Dragash. They were making music together, and there were no main singers. They used to. They were at the university, so it was really easy to have access to a lot of singers and stuff like that. They just wanted to have a positive name, and Trust was already taken. So they were like, okay, so Trust is taken. Let's take Men I Trust. And it was really men, like as the mankind. So it has nothing to do with me, my relationship with men. I trust these, but it's really not in the story. And people ask me a lot. It has nothing to do with it. And so Men I Trust sounded great. Actually, the first thing I told them when I met the band is like, I think what you do is incredible, but the band is the name band. I love the name of the band, so we kept it. And
I really like the name too. It really caught my eye when I first heard about you guys.
Yeah, me as well. Yeah, and I almost thought like it was before I had looked into you guys more. I thought that it was just like an all male band, maybe, or maybe all female band. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting how you guys have the different representations and so also just how you guys have been mentioning your touring. You just finished a show last night. Can you guys talk a little bit about the impact of touring on your success as a band? Do you think that your band's extensive touring has helped get your name out there to more audiences?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
We've waiting a long time before touring. We wanted to be ready and to go meet people. So as soon as we started doing show, there were people for us, which was incredible from the starts. And since then, we never stop, and each time there's more and more people. So I would describe it this way. I would say yes, a big yes.
Yeah, it's definitely a positive feedback loop, from the releases and their own life on the internet, and then to actually meeting people and playing the songs. They kind of both feed on each other and contribute a lot to our growth as a band.
Yeah. There's people, it's been their 6th or 7th time. It's always such a pleasure to see them, and
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I've heard a couple of my friends will mention they're going to see you guys whenever you come through, and Nia was saying too people are always talking about oh, I'm gonna go see them. So it's awesome to see how much you guys are out there. With some of the artists, obviously they don't get a chance to go out as much. So for you guys to be that present in so many different places around the world it's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, as long as there's gonna be people want to see us, we're gonna do it, because that's what makes music real. So we're very lucky to have such a good fan base that comes to show and enjoy the music.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's great.
Definitely. So was there a collective decision to sing in English rather than French?
It was always natural for us. We never sat down and talked about it, because we're French Canadian, but we've been raised on not American, but English as a language, as a communicative language in music. So we see it more as an artistic choice, if it was one more instrument instead of another instrument. So it was always natural for us to make music in English. Would you like to say more? That was pretty much it.
Yeah, for me too, it's more like a style. It's not just translating the same subject matter in 2 different languages. For me, there's an English style and a French style, and that's the style we do.
Yeah, it might sound like a paradox, but for us, making music in French, it's so close to the way we communicate when we're at home that it sometimes can be even harder to feel that we're comfortable in it. The music in English, I feel, gives us a kind of freedom, and
Yeah, and it's also the reaches a broader audience, of course.
But it's good that you know that we speak French.
Yeah. No, I listen to a few artists who are from Quebec, so Yeah, I know you guys speak French out there.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear how like you guys use it to kind of step away from like your normal everyday lives and kind of like take on a persona, because I know a lot of artists like make music like that. It's like it is their escape. So it's almost like you have the two languages to jump between and like represent yourself a certain way in English, and then at the same time reach those English audiences.
Yeah, well, I don't feel that we take a persona or that we're like faking a reality. It's just like an additional way to make music that gives us more freedom, I feel.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're also interested to know how you, Emma, got connected with Dragos and Jesse in the band, like how it all kind of came together. It sounds like you said a little bit like you came up to them and they had formed it, but can you talk about that a little more?
Yeah, you want me to go ahead?
Yeah, if you want, sure.
Actually, one of my good friend, she posted a video of a night with friends. We were hanging around a campfire and we were singing, and Dragos was already in the project with Jesse, and he heard my voice and he was like, oh, I really want to try like to record a voice like yours. Not this one, actually. Mine in maybe 3 hours. And so yeah, I went to Montreal and we tried to record it, and it started like that. So he saw me on Facebook by a friend of a friend.
Gotcha. And so you guys all kind of just started like really feeling like you had a good group energy together too.
Yeah, it took a while. At the beginning, the lines were not clear. I was just always available, and we started doing shows together, and the things took on naturally. Because I was like, yeah, I'm down. I'm going to stay here. And that's what I'm going to do. And so we were all like super motivated together. And that's the way it happened.
Yeah. Awesome. That's so cool to hear.
Yeah. So what was the inspiration behind the song Show Me How? It's one of your guys' #1 stream song on Spotify. And it's also very popular on TikTok. And I know a lot of fans are wondering how that writing process came about.
Very quickly, actually, Jesse just dropped the song. It's like the song came out of like the sky. Really, like it's one of our fastest like recording track, melodic wise and lyrics. And yeah, Show Me How is about love. So I guess maybe that's why people like it so much. It was a lot of songs take a lot of effort, but this one was kind of like effortless. And yeah, Show Me How is about love and missing someone.
Because it's effortless usually.
Yeah.
So it was like a common effort, and it was a very easy process for this one.
Yeah, that was actually one of the first songs I heard from you guys back in 2018.
Yeah,
actually.
and sometimes we do the lyrics first, sometimes we do the music, but then we heard the music and then the lyrics just came naturally with the sound of the music, so it's even more fun this way. It was very like there.
Yeah, and we actually filmed the music video in Vegas as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So I know that's like Show Me How is one of the songs that probably a lot of your every fan has to know, and a lot of people who maybe don't know you guys as well, but they know Show Me How. So where do you guys think you guys fall genre-wise? I don't know if any of you want to like each describe it or one of you take it, but like where do you think you would place yourselves?
We don't like to think about it this way, because like every genre is so, I don't know, there's no clear line. Like at the border, they always ask us like, what the name of your band, what type of music, and we're like, So yeah, I don't even know how to answer that, because like, what does indie mean anymore? What does, what would you say? I don't think I have an answer clearly, because if I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna say nah.
We just dabble in so many styles. I feel like our sound is more like a consequence of our workflow. Like the three of us, the way we work, it always ends up sounding like a Men I Trust song at the end, because of every little things we put on the tracks, the three of us. But we dabble like in so many genres. Sometimes we borrow from jazz, from classical, from trip hop, from electronic music, from indie, from like disco, from dance. It can be like so many things. So for me, it's also hard to tell. But I think we definitely have our sound. But it's I think it's more a consequence of the way we work, more than, something we strive for or kind of premeditate.
But it's interesting, to appeal to a genre or to try to like fit in a category. But actively, I think we're trying not to think about it too much while creating music, and because it's gonna end up sounding like us. So I think it's the kind of thing someone can tell us from the outside. And we're going to say, oh, okay, that's what we are.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's interesting how that happens, too, because it shows, like, you guys really are centered on the music, and it's not as much about trying to fit one, stereotype or another. So it's cool as a listener, too. Yeah. Another thing, too, we just wanted to mention is just seeing your guys' work come up on TikTok, seeing people make TikToks with your songs as the background. Do you guys think about, like, does that come to mind when you're thinking about, like, your fans sharing your music or, like, how you have gotten bigger and become more successful? Do you think TikTok plays a role in that?
We go on TikTok like once every 6 months. So it's cool. Like I've been last week and I was like, oh my God, it's so cute. There's so many videos, but we're not active on TikTok at all. So I feel pleased that our music is shining out there, but it's a surprise for us. And we're still pretty much outside of that.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, I'll tell you, people do love you guys on there, so definitely it's cool to see, like, how many, even it's just random, like, subject matter TikToks, but yeah, people love using your music in the background.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so I was watching an interview that had you guys in it, and I heard that you listened to Lana Del Rey, Emma. Is that still true?
How do you say that? I went through the last album kind of not in a very attentive mindset. Like I put in like when I was like driving and like thinking about a lot of other things. So I need to go re-listen to it. But I think for me, I'm kind of stuck in my old Lana Del Rey era. Like I have songs. Actually, these interviews, they talk about albums. It's always a nightmare because I really like have songs. So maybe I'll find my like 2 songs on the last Lana Del Rey album. I'm super happy to see that she's still out there and then she gathers to like her old audience and the new, and I love her.
Yeah.
She's great. Yeah, and I'm happy that she's there because she's there to stay all the time. Very happy that she's
maybe in the future we can get a Lana and Men I Trust song.
Who knows?
Do you think for you, Emma, she influences you at all with like the music you make, or is it more of just like you're more of a fan and you just like to enjoy her music as a fan?
I think you're influenced by everything you touch, you see, you hear, and you're like a product of everything. So like I would say no direct song or no direct nothing, but for sure like I've had some Lana in me somewhere. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
Everything.
And then just for this new album, the Tourable album, can you guys talk a little bit about the writing process, the music creating process, and just like how you came up with that name specifically?
Well, we wrote it during the pandemic, of course, so we were kind of like everyone isolated at home, and we kind of knew that we wouldn't be able to tour the album. So with that in mind, I guess we wrote some music that is perhaps a bit more soundscapey than usual, and without having the tours in mind and stuff, and it's kind of introspective, and I'd say it feels like a while ago, but
it's only been 2 years.
Yeah, we ended up touring it a lot actually, and which is great, and we still managed to adapt the songs quite nicely live. So I don't know if that idea still stands today, but that was at least the mindset at the time.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, that totally makes sense, like during the pandemic. But I'm glad it was able to be taken out on the road.
Yeah. We've been playing it like for 2 years, which is amazing because it was released in 2021, and we're being told that usually artists kind of struggle more with touring like older material. With us, it was delayed by all the lockdowns and stuff, but we still managed to tour it quite a lot, and even a lot of later in times. I
People were
feel
just there.
yeah, people were there,
They're
and
nice.
I feel like he kind of like grew on people.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, since the release, it slowly and steadily got more attention. So yeah, we're still in the process of touring it right now, and at the end of this year, it will be like probably the last tour that this is like the main body of work that we're gonna play live, because next year we intend of working on a new album, and we're taking also a break a bit from the road. So I guess when we come back, we'll have a bunch of new material. But yeah, this tour we're still touring stronger. The Tourable album and the last 3 singles we released last year and this year.
Will the songs Billy Toppy and Ring of Past be on your next album?
We don't think so.
Yeah.
What?
Actually, it's a good question because we released a lot of singles because we like to release music the more that we can, and for us it's a way to stay relevant for us, not to wait too much to release the song. So we have songs that are like in the middle of nowhere, and so we just have to discuss if we put them on the physical thing or not. So that's a good question.
We also feel to start something from scratch, and what is nice about the Tourable is it is really homogeneous.
Yeah, it's cohesive.
It's a project, yeah.
So I don't feel like putting the old song on the new album would really fit. I think I would just go with something new.
Because you're in the mindset when you create something, and so to have a body of work that is cohesive with like, I don't know, not one state of mind, but like, it just feels more special to, like, albums are not like obligatory anymore. So if you're making one, like, make it a thing. I would say.
also feel like we've done it too with Uncle Jazz. It was like a collection of lots of songs, many which have been like released prior, which we remixed, so they would sound cohesive with the whole album. But we already had like in mind at the time when we released Uncle Jazz to kind of make it like as though it was like a radio station, but a Men I Trust radio station. And so it would have like a bunch of different songs and genres kind of put together as though they were like playlisted or aired on a radio. So I feel like maybe since we've done that, it would be cool just to also start something from scratch and have its own vibe and its own universe.
Yeah, I like that. That makes sense.
What we gonna do with Ring of Fast and Billy Toppy? I don't know. Maybe release a physical thing one
Maybe
day.
like a set or a cassette, something. Yeah,
That's great.
Because sometimes it's a bummer that they're nowhere.
Yeah, they
physically.
definitely deserve to be somewhere. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love that you guys mentioned the concept albums though, because I love when, for me, like as a listener, I love hearing an album that's like intentionally created and you have like kind of a theme to it. I think as a listener and as a fan, like it kind of guides you through like what you're actually consuming. So that's a really cool idea too.
Yeah, and the album is cool when like you make it like in its own world. Then you can have like some UFO songs on there that maybe wouldn't stand on their own like as singles, but are completely relevant and have their place in the album. So it allows you to maybe go a bit more, how do you say it, on the left side? What's the expression?
I think
so you can explore more. So I love an album for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a movie, if you see like a super random scene out of context, it would make no sense. But in the movie, this random scene is so strong because you've had the whole an hour.
Director's cut.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah.
Who would be somebody that you guys would want to collaborate in the future with?
We're not big on collaboration because there's a lot of people we love, but we haven't done a lot. That's a good question.
Justin and I talked about doing a hip-hop album. We're really big fans of hip-hop, and we have like old samplers, and I guess we probably want to do something really old school. I think it would be nice to...
It would be a return from the past, actually.
Yeah.
That's what we used to do.
That's how we met, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hip-hop instrumentals back in high school, yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I think that's definitely not what me as a fan like thinks of Men I Trust as, so it'd be cool to see you guys take it in a different direction.
Yeah, actually the songs are low-key, like, you know, if you just take Show Me How, like the drum beat is super hip-hop, and that's why I think like someone like Joey Badass was like, whoa, I'm gonna rap on it, and for us it makes so much sense. It's like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
We definitely have a strong hip hop root.
Yeah.
That's great. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you so much for taking the time, guys.